And then we have a pump simulator. So we're going to go into the pump simulator for this demonstration. And basically, so for here, you're just going to select what kind of tank capacity you have. So it can calculate when you're going to run out of water and how much water you have to give before you get a water supply. But basically, this pump simulator is just a huge calculator based on hydraulic calculations. You manipulate the water and the psi and which lines are open and closed, but behind the scenes, it's just running those variables through a calculator, and it's telling you how much water you're losing and how much you're flowing and everything like that based on actual math. So you hit start pumping. This is your simulated pump panel. Over on the far left, you have your tank water. You have your 4 lights that indicate when you're full. You have your intake pressure. And then across the top, you have your PDP and your intake pressure. In the middle of the screen here are your discharges. So on the front, you have your trash line. On the pump panel, you have your 2 inch and 3/4 cross lays. And then you have your 2.5 inch cross lay right here. You got your deck gun. And then as you walk towards the back, you have 1 inch and 3/4 pre-connected, a 2.5 pre-connected, and then you have 3 inch supply line and 5 inch supply line. And then over on the on the far right are your water intakes. So just to show this, we're going to open up a 2.5. So we've opened up the 2.5. We're going to have the PDP set at 90. We'll set it at 110, but the PSI for this line is set at 90, as you can see here. And then over on the live calculations, it gives you a readout. So we have our PSI is 90, which is our target. That's what we want. And our GPM flows out of that is 271 at 90 PSI. Okay. And you can start to see in the top left there, we're losing water because we don't have any water coming in. We're off tank water right now. Going back to the crosslay 3, what you see here, you can add in elevation if you need to go upstairs with this thing. And then you have your duty percentage. This is a percentage which you have 4 options: 25, 50, 75, and 100. To if that line is going to be opened the entire time it's pulled, or if that bail, like working inside a house fire, is going to be open and closed, open and closed. So we got the 2.5 off. So this is probably a defensive operation. So we're going to just put 100% of the time it is flowing. So it is constantly going to be flowing, and you should start to see, as you can see here, we're losing water faster. So we just lost 1/4 of the tank. So the light went out. Let's open up a crosslay too. So we're going to open up this crosslay. It automatically is preset with the pressure that we would want for this crosslay. So 110. And you can see at 110 PSI, we are flowing about 158 gallons per minute. That's actually exact. I think most SOPs and pump manuals will just say 160, but we're flowing 158 based on those hydraulic calculations. You can see we're at 50% water now. So we're going to get some water. So let's say we got our water supply. We got a 5-inch water supply from the sun check, from the front suction. So we're going to open this up. Boom, we have 55 PSI coming in from the hydrant, as you can see here on the left. But we have a 2.5 continuously flowing and a crosslay flowing half of the time. Our residual is 34 PSI. And you can see we're losing water still, but it's a little bit slower. So let's now say that the defensive operation or the transitional attack is completed, and we're going to close a 2.5 line. So we're going to close this up. So the only thing we have open now is an 1 inch and 3/4 line, and that's only being used 50% of the time. And you can see our water is starting to go back up. We're starting to fill the tank again. So that's kind of the gist of it. And you can see the intake pressure went up too as soon as we closed the 2.5. You can adjust how much pressure you're getting from the hydrant right here. So boom, there's your residual just went up. It's defaulted to 55%, 55 PSI. And whatever your department's policies are, we're not supposed to go below 20 residual on here. So it gives you an idea of what lines you can have open and what effect they have on how quickly you lose water and what effect it has when you get a water supply, how quickly you're filling the tank. Okay, you can see now our tank's at 50% now. And let's say now that most of the fire is knocked down, and we're just going to use this cross lay lightly here, and you can see our tank's filling up a little bit faster here. Down at the bottom here, it says average GPM at 25%, 40 gallons per minute. Obviously, the hand line can flow 160 gallons per minute, but if it's only open 25% of the time, it's 40 gallons per minute. So you can do that with any of these. Just play around. It's a good training tool. I thought a good use of this would be like if someone is operating the command sim and they order, 2 hand lines to come off the truck. You open up your 2 hand lines and you can see how quickly you're going to lose water based on how much it's flowing and the effects of what happened when you get a water supply. And if that water supply was from a 3-inch line or a 5-inch line. So it's just a cool training tool that you could do, on the computer at the station or something, just to see the water dynamics of how the truck works. So hope you like it. Take care.